That's very rude for members. Order! Order! Behave yourself! Be a good boy, young man! Be a good boy!
Well, Brexit. Where to even begin? It's been less than 7 weeks since Boris Johnson was elected as Prime Minister, and at the time, it all seemed pretty simple. He had a simple promise.
Deliver Brexit, unite the country and defeat Jeremy Corbyn.
So far, though, you'd have to say it's not going well. But what's his plan actually been, and how did we get here? His time as Prime Minister started with a bit of a giveaway, lots of new money announced, 14 billion for schools, another 2 billion for the NHS, another billion on top of that to train in new police officers, all pretty telltale signs of a pre-election giveaway.
We are putting a lot more money into schools, you'll be pleased to know.
Then he moved on to the Brexit negotiations and set out one clear, but quite hard to deliver, demand.
The backstop is anti-democratic. It keeps the UK locked in the EU's customs arrangements. It's got to come out. It's got to change. I've made that point very, very clearly.
And then he made sure that everyone knew he wasn't afraid of the consequences, even if that meant no deal.
I want to make clear to everybody in this House, I will never surrender.
And then in a move that had journalists and others reaching for their dictionaries, he attempted to prorogue or suspend Parliament until 2 weeks before Brexit's due to happen, which will give MPs very little time to actually have a say. And that seems to be where he's come unstuck.
What the Prime Minister's doing is a sort of smash and grab on our democracy.
If MPs don't come together next week to stop Boris Johnson in his tracks, then I think today will go down in history as the day UK democracy died.
21 MPs rebelled against the party, with some pretty scathing of Boris Johnson.
I do think the Prime Minister, with the greatest respect, has a tremendous skill in keeping a straight face whilst he's being so disingenuous.
The revolt seems to have resulted in new laws that would mean Boris Johnson has to request a Brexit extension if there's no deal reached by October 19th. That's something he said he won't do.
I'd rather be dead in a ditch.
There are those, though, who think this has all just been part of one big plan to get an election, something that Boris Johnson clearly now wants.
The fact is, he's now desperate to have an election in order to bring this House's proceedings to an end.
He was denied that this week by Labour MPs, but Boris Johnson is going to push for a snap election again on Monday, and this time he might get it.
I don't want an election at all, but frankly, I cannot see any other way. The only way to get this thing done, to get this thing moving, is to make that decision.
Boris Johnson's endured a really bad week, with even his own brother resigning from his government. Though it could be Boris who has the last laugh, if he's returned with a majority after an election. But he also runs the risk of being a spectacular flop, and the shortest serving Prime Minister in the history of the UK.
Leader of the House, who I have to say, with his body language throughout this evening, has been so contemptuous of this House and of the people. We will have none of it.